I roll mine in my
Uh,
shirt.
Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
Is it really true? Is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show. Everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass. Because, guys, 33 years ago, I was a dumbass. But today, 33 years later, through the grace of God, I can honestly say now I'm a smartass. Yes, the word ass is in the Bible at least 40 times, and it means donkey, and that's what I was. I'm saying all that to say this. There are a lot of people out there still struggling, and I want everyone out there to know someone is listening. I'm a nutritional health coach. I'm a recovery coach. All my services to you are free. Please, please reach out. If you think my book can help someone, because I sure do, you can go right to Simon & Schuster's bookstore, Archway Publishing, BAM, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can go to my website, www.geripetito.com. And please subscribe to the Geri Petito Show YouTube channel. And guys, listen, if you truly, truly, truly cannot afford my book, please, please reach out to me about that as well. I'm here to help you. Before I introduce my incredible guests, I'd like to give a shout out to a few of my sponsors today. Okay, we've got Stormin Norman Selden, 732-245-4777, www.storminnormanselden.com, booking dozens of attractions for concerts and performances on venues of all sizes. He's got from a 5 to 12-piece band, guys, and he is a monster on the keyboards. He actually came live in studio a few weeks and brought them, and unbelievable, okay? What he's doing now is he's giving lessons to seniors who are stuck home and bored. So that's pretty cool. And a lot of people don't know this, but he helped get Larry Chance back in the day started. Larry Chance from the Earls. Remember then? So Larry became family to me, and God rest your soul, sir. Thank you for all your music. We miss and love you, Larry. Rest in peace. Then we've got Ken Ryan and Linda Garofalo, The Way It Used to Be, singing songs from the 50s to the 80s, a tribute show to the greatest music and voices of all time. And guys, Ken also sings Elvis for me. Thank you very much. I want to say especially a thank you to both of them because they're two beautiful people inside and out, and they do so many fundraisers, and they're just amazing. Then we've got Michael Zanman, singer, entertainer, performer, www.mzanman.com. He's crazy good, all right? He's crazy good. And then I'm going to tell you something about the next two as well. I'm going to loop it all together. Michael D'Amore, singer, songwriter, performer, entertainer, www.michaeldiamore.com. And I always say this, guys, everybody knows I'm an Elvis fan, right? And to me, Elvis is up here, and nobody could really touch Elvis. But I got to say, Michael D'Amore is close. He's incredible. So check him out, please. Then John Monforto, the man of many faces. Okay? I actually gave him that name. Singer, actor, celebrity impersonator, and tribute artist. But listen to me. He was given the title by a former Philadelphia mayor as the official Philadelphia Rocky impersonator. He is Rocky. He does over 30. And he becomes each one of them. My three favorites, of course, Rocky, The Godfather, The Italian in Me, and Elvis, baby. www.johnmonforto.com. I was honored again this year to be an MC at Let East, and I got to MC for all three of these guys, so it was really cool for me. And last but certainly not least today, John Bishop, a.k.a. Johnny B. Singer-songwriter, host of the Entertainment Luncheon South, a nonprofit network created for the creative. We all know about that. His Facebook group page, Entertainment Luncheon South, partner in the Joey D and Johnny B Rockin' Oldies band. Guys, him and his wife, Lenny, a huge hello to both of you and thank you, because what they do is unbelievable and they don't keep a penny of it. It's $20 to get in. You get a great lunch and great entertainment. And again, they don't keep a penny. And they promote all of us unbelievably. So a huge thank you to you guys. So having said all that, now I would like to introduce my two really cool, amazing guests. All right. So first of all, you guys know them as probably Stiletto and the Saxman. So we've got Joey and Doreen Arminio. Say hello.
Hello.
Wait, talk a little louder.
Hello.
Okay, yeah, push that mic a little closer to you, girl. All right, there you go. Okay. You hear it now?
Well, it doesn't sound like it's on, like a mic. So
Okay.
I can hear myself talking.
Okay, can she be a little louder, Ruben, please? Okay, so Joey, say hello to everybody.
Hi, everybody. It's great to be here. Jerry, thank you for having us on your show.
You're welcome. And he sounds a little too loud, and she sounds like
Yeah.
she's not that loud.
It's opposite of home.
Wait, I don't know about that, baby. Well, maybe sometimes it probably is, right?
I'm very quiet.
You're-
I'm a quiet person.
So he's fixing her microphone. So, all right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to talk to you first.
Oh,
All right? I want you to hold up this incredible book.
Thank you.
Okay?
Holding that up?
You hold up that book.
Okay. It's
Now, I want you to tell everyone the title of your book.
the book is called 0 to 60. It's the Joey Arminio story.
Okay. So now, tell everybody a little bit about that book.
This book is kind of my entire life story, and also Doreen's. She picks up about halfway through. But this goes all the way back from the time I could remember, and it talks about every person that, probably every person that I've ever had some kind of, that had some kind of effect on my life.
Okay.
And it was really important that I put this book together for my grandchildren and for my family and for all the fans and people who want to know about what we do, why we're doing it, what we did during all the different things that went on. The book is a non-political book, so there's nothing in here that has anything to do with politics. So it's a lifetime book. It's not something that we worry about every election or not. It's
Okay.
nothing like that. It's all our friends are in here, people that we talk to on both sides of the coin. So it's really nice to be here with them in the book, and
it's a-
there's memories.
Yeah, it's a journey of
It's a journey.
the music industry, and especially in New
So
Jersey.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
New
Right.
Jersey music industry's in here. There's so many great people.
Every
and
club you've ever
stories.
played, it's a list of every
Venues,
club.
plays, and on the back we had some wonderful people who, Don K. Reed, who said,
Oh, rest in peace. I love him.
yeah, he wrote on the right in the front, a musical trip you have to take by Don K. Reed, and on the back is all kinds of, acclamads that my idols gave us. Gary U.S. Bonds, Vito Pacone, Larry Chance, and Don K. Reed, and many others back here.
It's
This
amazing
is
how many
so
people are gone.
cool. So, you know what's amazing about this? Everyone could probably relate to what's in this book.
Yes.
And it'll bring smiles. And this is why this is so cool. So let me ask you a question about this. 0 to 60. Okay, why did you title it that?
Well, 0 to 60 is kind of a bunch of things. I'm into like hot rods and cars and things like that, and racing cars and all that. But I just love the idea, 60 years living, 45 years in the music business. It just seemed to be right. And
I
then,
love it.
Actually, a lot of people loved it. I showed it. We had a few different titles, but it kept falling back to this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of this book, girl?
Well, when he first wanted to write the book, I was like, do whatever you want. I don't want to be involved. I really don't
Okay.
want to be involved.
Okay.
But, you
Then
know,
she saw me write.
I'm the grammar police, so I was like, just send me a chapter at a time, and I'll just fix the grammar, that kind of thing. And as I was reading it, he was asking me questions. What do you think we should put here? What should we do there? So it was a discussion that we were, doing, and this was right before COVID. Once COVID hit, I think we were stuck in the house. So I was in there, and every day is like, let's work on the book. So we ended up working on it throughout the whole time during COVID, and each chapter he sent me, I would be like, this is really cute, this is funny, this is sad. I was laughing, I was crying, I was remembering. So I think it's a really good tribute to all the people that have this era in time, is what you always say.
Yeah, I said a moment in time.
Yeah, moment in time.
Because it's our moment in time. Everybody in this book, and a lot of people are no longer with us that are in this
Yeah.
book. And it's sad, it's happy. There's great stories that from my experiences, and there's lots of lessons to be learned from the book, especially about the music business with the bands and stuff.
Do you mention singers that you never knew? Like, here's where I'm going with this. Is Elvis in this book?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the reason Elvis is
All
in the
right.
book because
There's a
Elvis
reason.
started. He was the one that I started with as a boy.
Guys,
8 years old.
I did not know this. So
Yeah.
I'm not asking this because I knew this. Let's hear it.
Well, what happened was I was young, very young, and I used to watch Elvis on the movies and stuff, and I'd have my little M&E guitar, and everybody's like, oh, you're Elvis, you're doing Elvis. I'm like, oh, yeah, I love Elvis. Then as I got older, I started watching the 4:30 movie, and I'm a big fan of Elvis in the movies. So all the stuff that we do are movie Elvis songs. That's so.
So, okay, I love you guys more. I did not know that, so yay.
Yeah.
All right? I mean, come on, he had to be, but I didn't know that about you with Elvis.
Well, the thing about Elvis was, what's really got me excited was, who else can walk down toward the water, and all of a sudden, the band starts playing out of the thin air, and the beautiful girl comes walking out of the woods. I mean, and without wires.
Well, he's Elvis.
Okay.
Without a PA and without wires. That's what I want to be when I grow up.
Okay? Listen, who didn't want to be that, right, when they
Exactly.
grow
Oh,
up?
he's so handsome. He was so
Okay?
handsome.
Oh, forget it. I mean, come on. Wow, that's impressive. Okay, very
And it was the hair. I went right for that.
Oh, he went right for the hair. I love it. Okay? Very cool. So, why don't we play one of your songs,
Okay.
and then we'll talk about it. All right? We're going to give you a little treat here today. We got a few of their songs, honey.
All right.
Yes. So, all right, that's your theme song. So, I have a question, and you talk about the song. What came first, you wearing stilettos and being called Stiletto and the Saxman, or you liked the name so you started wearing stilettos?
No, I was wearing stilettos.
Wait, Ruben, can you make her a little louder? Yeah.
No, stilettos. No, I love shoes.
It's not, she's not on, babes. Aw. All right, talk really loud, or talk into his mic,
Here, use this one.
real quick.
So I always liked shoes and stilettos, but I kind of backed myself into a corner now because I have to wear stilettos whether I want to or not. But no, I just we wanted something that was catchy and, a lot of people call me Darlene instead of Doreen. I couldn't stand that, so I said I need a name.
Oh.
And I said, why not? I like alliteration, something S and S, so Stiletto it was.
And she wanted to be taller than me.
I do.
So she wanted to be taller than you. Now you're the sax man. So now give him the mic back.
Okay.
So let's hear about the sax man, baby. Get close. Move in. Come on. There you go.
Well, I've always been like a visual saxophone player. I used to do like, parties and things like that before we met. And it was a lot of fun. We went out, always dress apart, the whole thing. And that's how I became the sax man. And, I'm a singer, saxophone player. And we just incorporated it in. We didn't know what we were going to do. And we were like, how about Stiletto and the Sax Man? Because it was always Joey Arminio and the family. And everybody was like, oh, are you in the band? And she was like the lead singer. It was like one of the lead singers. And it was always like...
Well, because we do a variety show, and I would wear wigs all the time. So every time I'd come out, I'd be dressed like the person I was. So they didn't know. No one knew who I was.
You and your girls, you're really good. I'm like, uh-oh.
And the dancers, and I would dance as well because I have dance training. So it was just Joey and then a bunch of girls. And I was like, you know what? I want to be me. I want to be.
I love that you're you.
Yeah, we love it too. It's been so much better that she's been
Okay.
part of the feature,
But that was fun, I'm sure. You know what I mean?
it's a
Like,
lot
you
of
got to
fun.
start somewhere,
But we
right?
still do it. We do both.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We do it all now.
Yeah, we still
Okay,
do.
very cool. Very cool. So I want to, before we play another song, I want to ask you guys a couple questions about music, growing up. So, all right, let's start with Doreen.
Okay.
So, growing up, who was a big influence, or maybe you've had many, who were influences in the music industry to you? Who did you love?
My first album, I think, that I used to sit and listen to was the Donny Osmond, and
Okay.
I knew the whole thing. I used to sing all the time, all his songs, and I loved him.
Sure.
I had a lot of people in my family, and everybody in my family listened to a different type of music, so I would just take whatever album was out, and I would just learn it. I really loved listening to Barbra Streisand when I was a kid.
You did?
Loved her, and I knew all her songs. I was obsessed with her, and so that was one. I don't really sing like her, but I think I learned how to sing by trying to hold the notes as long as she used to hold the notes in the songs, and that's how I just sit in my room and sing all day long.
Was your mom a Barbra Streisand fan?
Yeah, they love Barbra Streisand.
Oh, so that's where- that's how
both
you-
my parents,
Okay.
Diana Ross.
Yeah.
Just they would listen to jazz, and my brother, I had one that listened to rock, one loved like the Beatles, and this one liked oldies. So there was all kinds of music on in our home.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, of course, Elvis is number one for you, but any others?
Oh, I have so many. I was brought up in country music with
Oh.
all the old country. Tammy Wynette, Lynn Anderson, all those guys. George Jones,
George Jones was cool.
Yeah. But oldies, doo-wop, that whole
Yeah.
thing. Don K. Reed show, playing every
Oh,
Sunday.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
I grew up in New York, Long Island City, New York, and we moved to New Jersey when I was 12, but you'll never take the New Yorker out of me. But growing up, I used to, in the car, my mom and dad, put Don K. Reed on, Mom, put the oldies on, Mom, had to. I don't even know why. I always say I was born too late, because I was born in 61, and the songs came out in 60, 61. And they're my favorite songs, right? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, same here. Like we used to drive. I was in Brooklyn, and we would go to the Seaside Boardwalk. And coming home on Sunday nights, my dad and mom always had the doo-wop shop, Don K. Reed's. And I loved it. I always said the same thing. If I was born earlier, I probably would have been, in the Ronettes or something.
Listen, I always say I would have the blue suede shoes on, the poodle skirt, but the black leather jacket, honey,
Yep.
and the ponytail, because I had that tough guy in me, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
It was great, right?
Yeah.
Oldies, Elvis, and doo-wop, baby. Come on.
That's pretty much it. I mean, there were so many artists,
Right.
so
I'm
many artists.
sure, like with me, Led Zeppelin, Genesis. I mean, we loved all
Well, we
that.
lived there. We lived
Yeah,
that era.
we lived
but
that era,
when you
but
really sit down
that's
with it,
right.
it was Sunday night doo-wop
That's
shop,
right, baby. Right? Amazing. So, all right. So now, producer, let's play another song, and then we're going to talk about this. That was a very cool song, your theme song, guys.
We wrote the words, too.
Yeah, we worked two words.
We worked really hard writing
Tom
stuff.
Tom Jacobson wrote the song, actually, and we wrote the lyrics.
That's funny.
Had to leave it there going.
Young and in love when
There's magic everywhere when you're young and in love. The moon at night seems to shine twice as bright when you're young and in love. Each night seems like the 4th of July when stars spangle the sky. Dreams can come true if you believe they do when you're young and in love. Trust and you'll find there's no mountain you can't climb when you're young and in love. Though many teardrops are bound to fall, true love can conquer all when you're young and in love.
Trust and you'll find there's no mountain you can't climb when you're young and in love.
Though many teardrops are bound to fall, true love can conquer all when you're young and in love. When you're young and in love. When you're young and in love.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Why don't you tell us about it first, and then we'll have you talk about it.
Okay, so here we go.
All right. The mic's not on again.
Yeah,
Ruben.
so my friend Johanna said, you got to do this song, you got to hear this song. And it was Ruby and the Romantics. And I'd never heard the song before. And she did the other song, which I can't remember the name of it, but I did one of her songs. And I loved her voice. Our Day Will Come, yeah. Same group. And, excuse me. And I loved her voice. I thought the song was beautiful. So we created the song in the studio. All the backgrounds are all us, you know. It's all. But we were recording it. We were getting ready to leave for Florida, and we were doing this album. There's 27 songs on the album, and I think I recorded all my songs in like 2 days. We just locked ourselves in and finished it before we went to leave. But I thought it came out really nice. It has a nice, soft quality.
Now give him the mic.
Okay.
And you tell us what you think of this song.
Well, it's just a beautiful song. When people send me a song, I listen to it and I say, will this work for us? And then I say, if I like the song, I say to Doreen, you like the song? And she'll say yes or no, or maybe not. I say, well, what happens if we try it this way or try it that way? We like taking older songs that, you know, not overly played and change them into duets and stuff like that. We love to do that. We've just been doing it with a bunch of other ones. And that was it. And when we got in the studio, we started doing it, and we're like, oh my God. And then the magic starts. All of a sudden, it starts to come together. It's not so, now the harmonies, we start blending, and we just make the magic in Arminio Studios.
That's really cool. I love it. And I love watching you guys together when you perform with the smiles and the way you interact. It's awesome.
Thank
you.
It's
Thanks
joy,
very
you know,
much.
it's joyful, so it comes through, you know.
It's awesome.
We try to have as much fun as we can because, you know, the audience wants to have fun. They don't want to sit there and watch somebody just go.
You're right.
So
You're
we just have
absolutely
fun. We
right.
just hack, have a good time.
No, it's great. It's absolutely great. So, all right. So now let's play a third song.
Okay.
Before we play the fourth, I want to ask you a couple questions. Okay, here we go. right, so yes, that was absolutely beautiful. You start. You talk first.
This song takes my breath away.
Yep.
I lost my parents in the early 2000s, 2000, 2004, and my uncle, Alfonso Della Russo, he was my father after that. I mean, we spent our life with him in 15 years, 16 years in Verona with him, and when I found out he was in hospice and he wasn't going to make it, I had all this energy, and I didn't know what to do with myself. So I went up in the studio. She didn't even see me. I just disappeared for the whole day, and this is what came out. So that's
so emotional and
Oh yeah,
beautiful.
I listen to it. I can't.
That's amazing. All right, so how long have you been playing the sax?
Well, I started in probably 1984. Originally, was a trumpet player, the worst trumpet player.
I
you
love
could-
this. Go ahead.
Six chair, first one out the door. Most likely not to succeed in music, of course. That's just the truth. And I didn't like playing the
I took over
trumpet.
for being the worst trumpet player.
No,
We're
and
going
then
to talk about that. Don't worry.
and then I ended up going to saxophone because I was in a doo-wop band playing trumpet. And the guys in the band are like, we had 5 people, 6 people, sax players. We kept firing the sax player. They go like, Joe, you got to play the saxophone or else we're going to fire you too. But I said, it's my band. He said, I don't care.
They don't
You're firing us
they don't
anyway.
care. Bands are brutal.
So I ended up playing the saxophone and the trumpet in the band. So
All right, so wait, I have a question about that. How long did it take you to really master it? Because you have mastered it.
well, I wouldn't say I mastered it. I
To
say
us, you
I'm
have.
good at what I'm good at.
Okay.
Well, Eddie Testa started me off on the
Oh,
sax.
Eddie, yes.
If you know Eddie,
I love
Eddie's
Eddie.
wonderful.
I
He
interviewed
used to-
him back in the day.
I sat and listened to the Born to Run album over and over and over, and that's pretty much what I learned from, with an old beat-up saxophone that people backed over with the car one day, and so I took it out with took the dents out, and I just started playing, and then Eddie says, "Hey, you want to come down and play with the group or whatever?" Accidentally. There's a whole story. It's all in here.
Okay.
Oops, sorry. Wow, it's all in there.
You
and
saw it, and you
then
went
next thing you know, he started taking me to the chicken coops with the band practicing, and he'd sing me my parts because I don't read music, and that's how I started.
Okay, so I love that. I got to ask you about that. So you don't read music.
No,
You didn't really take lessons.
no.
So you just learned how to play the sax without any of that.
Yeah, I just play. I don't know what the heck I'm playing most of the time.
It's unbelievable. He can play, they'll be yelling out keys, the band, he's like, I don't care what as soon as he hears it, he knows what to do, and it's
Yeah, I
amazing.
just don't. My ear
It's
goes
amazing.
right to it, and I really can't play without music. So I could do the same doodle, 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 but I don't know what I'm doing. So when they start the music, it just takes off.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's weird.
I'm really impressed. That's a God-given talent.
yeah, it is.
Well, now that happened, they used to lock me in the room. My father, not bad way. It was he'd lock me in the room because I was doing so bad in band. They're like, you got to make that kid practice every day. So they'd stick me in the room. It was a 13-inch TV, black and white, and I'm in my bedroom, and I don't know what to do. I'm not going to practice the music because I can't read a damn bit of music. So I was playing dun 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 dun, Genie, F Troop. I just started Flintstone. Anything that came on TV that my father would hear me playing, as long as he heard me playing, I can go down and have dinner,
It
or I can go out and
worked,
play.
though.
What made them want you to play that instrument so badly?
My grandfather used to play the Italian trumpet.
Oh,
and they
yeah,
got
mine
it in
too.
they got it in their head that I needed to play the trumpet.
My grandfather too, okay? And then they also played that, what do you call that thing? You know
Accordion?
That. Thank
Accordion.
you.
Well, the Italians had they
Okay,
started
my
an
grandfather
accordion.
played the accordion too, okay. All right, got it. So now, girlfriend, you started playing the trumpet.
I did.
Let's talk about it.
I originally said, wouldn't it be funny if I just picked up the trumpet and kind of like faked it? And so I said that would be really cute in the act, or maybe just blew a note or whatever. So he says, well, yeah, well, why don't you do that? So we were driving down to Florida, and he
And I
says,
had my trumpet in the back.
you have the trumpet in the back. So he says, you take the mouthpiece, and you're only allowed to use the mouthpiece, no trumpet. So we were poor thing. He had to sit in the car with me all the way to Florida.
That was a bad
Me
idea.
too.
No.
Oh my God.
Good idea. It was a good idea.
I was having a great time. I really enjoyed it. So we finally got home from Florida, and I said, okay, I'm going to take this trumpet, I'm going to stick the mouthpiece on it, and I'm going to get a sound out of it. And I got a sound out of it. I couldn't believe that I was
Yeah, because
I
she was
doing it.
practicing the whole time, and I wouldn't let her play the trumpet that was in the back of the car. I just let her use the mouthpiece, so she'd be,
Oh, gotcha.
Drove me crazy.
you know.
So I did that, and I said, you know what, I could do this
Yeah.
for real. So I started to just practice songs, and really terribly, but it's not an easy instrument.
No, it's not. It seems to be, but it's not.
It's not easy on your face. So anyway, I got excited, and then COVID happened, and I started taking lessons with a gentleman, a wonderful trumpet player, Larry Marigliano, in California. And he was teaching me how to read music, so I can read probably more than he
I could
can
read
at this
third-grade
point.
trumpet music,
Well, I can
I
read
think.
third-grade trumpet music, I think,
Is that
too.
they made me do that.
So I'm enjoying it. I really love it. I learn a song, and I really want to be able to play by ear like he does. So he's trying to teach me a little bit of the ear train. I mean, I have a good ear, but just
Great,
to
it's
translate it
great
to my
ear.
fingers, you know,
I
it's
said,
hard.
just play what you sing,
Yeah.
and you'll be amazing. That's it.
So that's pretty cool because I don't play any instruments. I don't sing. You know, I mean, I can't be great at everything, right?
That's right.
I
You're
mean,
great
we're
at what
great
you-
at
You're
everything.
great
I'm
at
great
what
at
you
talking.
do. Yes, you are.
So I'll tell you about that real quick. I'll make you giggle. So when I wrote my book in 2016, Doc G, the original owner of Hamilton Radio, because they're partners, he reached out to me and said, we want to give you an interview. So I get interviewed on Hamilton Radio, and he's like, we want you to come along. You have a great radio voice. And I was like, no, that's not for me. I'm an artist. I paint, I draw, you know. I'm a chess player, you know. I cook. No. So I write poems, you know. I'm a writer. He bothered me for over a month, and I said, let me pray about this. And I started laughing. I was in trouble every day of my life. Remember the old report cards in New York?
Oh, yeah.
I was in trouble every day of my life. She talks too much. She talks too much. She talks too much. They had the seat. Remember the chair? We had the desk and the chair attached.
Yeah.
Each classroom had one outside their door for the bad kid. The teachers loved me. I was never bad, but I couldn't shut up. So they would put me out there and have to come and get me. Jared, get back in here, because I'd be yelling hello to everyone going to the bathrooms. All right? So I said, what am I, crazy? I was in trouble every day for talking. I got to do it. So that's why I said yes, though. It's so
That's great.
funny.
You're great at it.
But
Yeah, you're the best.
but you
That's
know,
for sure.
what you guys are doing with the music is unbelievable. And I say this because, again, I have no musical knowledge except if something sounds great or not. That's all I can tell you. Yes, that's great. I don't like that.
you know what you like.
That's okay. I've been tricked a few times where I can't tell if that song is good or not. Because sometimes, like on AGT or The Voice, whatever, they'll give them standing ovation and say it was incredible, and I'm like, I hated it. So I'll call some of my musical friends, and I'm like, tell me what I'm missing. And they're like, sometimes they'll say, well, I kind of agree with you, and sometimes they'll tell me why it's great, and then I'm like, okay. So I only know,
A lot of that's personal preference and also past, what you have going on that you like in your past. So certain music stimulates that,
Yeah.
the like button.
yeah. But
I'm the same way.
But with opera, my dad took me to the Italian Opera House in Italy. My daughter was 15. I'm an adult. And my father was on cloud nine. He finally got there, an Italian opera, and I'm in the chair going, get me out of here now. Get me out of here now. She's like, sit up.
It's all personal preference.
I had to go to an opera when I was in college. I was a dance major, and one of the dancers was going to be in Carmen, and she was doing a dance number. So I went, and I fell asleep.
Okay? So it's all preference.
Yeah, and they were wonderful.
So now, producer, we still have 2 songs, right? So we're going to play the 4th one, of them 2. Here we go, guys.
I forget what we...
There is someone walking behind you. Turn around, look at me. There is someone watching your footsteps. look at me. There is someone who really needs you. Here's my heart in my hand. Turn around. Look at me. Understand that there's someone who'll stand beside you. Turn around, look at me. There is someone who'll love and guide you. Turn around, look at me. I've waited, but I'll wait forever for you to come to me. Look at someone who really loves you. Turn around, look at me. Turn around, look at me.
Can I try that? While being a stalker, turn around, someone's following behind you.
Oh my God. Now he wants to be funny, okay?
That scared me. Someone was in the other room.
That scared me too, okay? That's our stalker producer, Ruben. So talk about this song,
It is a
guys.
stalker song. This is a funny story about why we wanted to do this. The song is beautiful. It's
Yes.
just such a lovely song, and I thought it would be really nice as a duet. But we were.
It ends up being funny.
It ends up being funny. I remember we were in home, we were in bed, and my dog Basil was behind me because he didn't want Joe to come near me. So he's like this, and Joe goes to me, goes, "There is someone," because the dog was like over my head.
The dog's back there. And I'm going, walking behind. There's someone walking
So
behind
we started
you.
cracking up.
So
We said-
Basil was the one who promoted this song.
Oh,
So we thought it was, so now when we do the song live, I goof around, I stand behind Joe, and I like pretend to be walking behind him.
That's adorable.
We do
It
it
goes that
silly.
way. I look back. There's
Yeah, yeah,
nobody
yeah.
there. It's just funny, and then we just do it and sing it like that. and
yeah,
it's just
adorable. So we're going to talk to everyone about how to get your book and all that, but we want to show everyone this photo in your book. So Terry, if you could please hold it up to that camera for us, the small camera. Yep.
This goes along with our theme song, Stiletto and the Saxman.
Yeah.
If you pull it back a little bit.
Pull it away from the logo, the
There
other
you
way.
go.
There you go. There you
Okay.
go, Tara.
All right.
Ruben, get rid of that screen. We're trying to see the book. All right.
Oh, I see.
Okay, there you go.
A friend of mine, a childhood friend of mine, did that. He does all like the cartoons for Topps at DC,
That's
Marvel,
cool.
all
All
that
right,
stuff.
Tara. Thank you, sweetheart.
So he did that for us, and
Thank you.
It's
You
pretty
know.
cool. We have all these ideas. We wrote a cartoon that goes with this, a storyline, as its own like superhero Marvel DC kind of cartoon. We have time to do this as if we do. We
'cause
don't.
we have to
but
drive 3 hours to work every day, so we.
I love it.
movies, cartoons.
So, before we continue with the show, I want to read a poem out of my book.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So, the reason why I always have the bookmark in here and it fell out, guys. What the heck? Wait, hold on a minute. All right, so where is my poem?
I need to get a copy
Okay.
of your book.
Okay. I have one. Hold on. All right, so this poem is called Utilizing Gifts and Talents, and there's a reason why I like to read this one. People are going to be calling me, telling me, oh my gosh, they sing so great, I wish I could sing like them. Oh my gosh, I love their personalities. She can dance. The saxophone, I wish I could play the saxophone like him. Everybody out there has something to offer. And everybody needs to understand that you have to figure out what that gift is. God didn't say, oh, I'm going to make you better than you or whatever. He's given everyone a gift. So you got to figure it out and utilize it, okay? So here's the poem, guys. If you're struggling with your self-worth and if you feel like you have nothing to offer, I'm here to tell you you're wrong. So when I wrote this poem, I was thinking about all the people out there who struggle with that, okay? So utilizing gifts and talents. We are born with talents, we are born with drive, with different gifts to help us thrive. I knew early on I was born to draw and paint, to also write poetry, and to talk without restraint. Our gifts and talents should all be used, God's gift to us not be abused. We can go far in life for sure, using our gifts to go on tour, like these guys do. All our talents should be used to create ourselves and more, but then our job's to share them, to even up the score. You see, in life, what's needed is not just for ourselves. Once our gifts are mastered, take them off the shelves. A living we can make by spreading them around, not just for the money, but to spread a peaceful sound. Don't take for granted the gifts you're given. Go out and spread the joy. Our gifts are not to be held back for us to self-destroy. Put your efforts forth. Do not hesitate. All your talents, my friend, are never second rate. Never hold them back, or you will surely die. Maybe not in body, but your soul will cry. Our gifts were made to share, our talents made to soar. Go through life enlightened, and then you can roar. Be proud of who you are. Be happy you're alive. Once again, my friend, your gifts will help you thrive. By putting efforts forth, not keeping them at bay, your name, Stiletto and the Saxman, baby, will live forever, forever and a day. So go through life excited for what you sure can give. To yourself and others is our reason to live. Our grave will be quite lonely, but our legacy lives on. So make sure people smile with the breaking dawn. And I want to thank you guys because you're making so many people smile. Okay? And I hope we continue to make people smile.
Yeah.
So we're going to now do a little twist on this interview, and we're going to do part 2 of this interview. All right, actually, you know what? Let me say what I have to say first, and then I'm going to say a couple more things, and then we're going to bring you guys to the mic, okay?
Okay.
All right, so we're living in very, all right, times have changed. They're not so great anymore, all right? I want to share a little bit about my background before we get into what we're going to get into. I'm going to say this, and there's a reason why it must be said, okay? You know, I'm a Christian, and I believe that the end times is near, and the Bible's talking about it. It says, in the end time, good is evil, and evil is good, and it's happening right before our eyes, okay? And, you know, I never really get political, but I think it's time I do. So what you guys don't know about me is, and when I say the word obsessed, it's not in a good way. I was obsessed my whole life with the walls, the Great Wall of China, the Russian Wall, okay, Germany, what went on with the Jews, okay? I was obsessed with all this. I had to get all this information and know everything that really went on, not being told what we're told and lied to. So in the 80s, when it was communist, I went to Russia. I had machine guns pointed at me at the wall. I went to China, had machine guns pointed at me at the wall. I went to Germany. I've been everywhere. And just a year ago, my producer Ruben and I went to all the borders in Yuma, Arizona. We spent 5 days with Border Patrol and the Sheriff Department, and a man named Anthony Hudson who was hoping to run for president as nonpartisan. Okay, so we witnessed it all firsthand and what's really going on at the borders. And it's heartbreaking, and it changed my life. So we're going to be talking about things that are going on and our perspective. And you guys, if you want to ask me any questions, and if you want to give me your opinion, make sure it's done properly. And remember, you can't give me any facts. I know them all. I've been there. Okay? I don't really know anyone in my circle. I don't know anyone personally who's had machine guns pointed at them in the 80s in Russia or China, right? So I was there. And I certainly don't know anyone who spent 5 days with the Border Patrol covering the stories about what's really going on and what we saw. And I'm going to share something else, okay? We signed the Trump wall. And what's going on with them not wanting to finish that wall is despicable, because we saw what was coming through it. We had cartel vans facing us at night, blinking their lights, letting us know they're watching us. We went to the most dangerous border, and I'll never forget this. The sheriff had us in this big vehicle, and he said, listen, do you want to go? I said, yes, absolutely. And he said, so if I get shot, grab my gun and take off. I said, well, that's not going to happen, but don't worry. So thank you, God was with us. Nobody fired, but the lights just kept shining at us. And we got out of there safe. What I saw with children, I have hundreds of photos of what went on with us at the border, if anybody is really, truly interested. Okay? So I don't want to hear people's opinions of what they believe is really happening and how dare we do this show. If you've done half of what I've done, then we can talk. And I'm not trying to say that in a bitchy way. I'm just trying to say that to maybe possibly open up the eyes of people that are being blindsided. So you know what I was thinking, guys? Why don't we play the song now, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll really get into the topic?
Sounds great.
Great?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So we're going to play a song that you guys wrote
Right.
and recorded it how long ago? About.
It's been in the works since 2022.
Okay. So let's play it, and then you're going to talk about it. Here we go, guys.
He's American through and through. He's American through and through. We're gonna see a man who wears the red, white, and blue.
He fights for what we believe in. Hey, how about you? He's our knight in shining armor. Donald Trump is his name. He vows to stop the violence that destroys our society.
He's an American hero. An American hero. He's an American hero. An American hero. He
There's a standing ovation from my seat, okay? A standing ovation from my seat. Talk about this song.
Well, we wrote the song, like I said, back in the day around 222. We just got tired of watching from the minute that Donald Trump, it's written for Donald Trump. And the minute he got into office, they were on him. They were on him like pit bull. Impeachments, this, that. Or they didn't even help him. The Democratic Party did not even help him, not once. So everything was get Trump. It was like get smart, get Trump. The whole thing was, and everything that leads up to today was a snowball of, okay, that didn't work. Let's try this. That didn't work. Hey, let's try that. That didn't. It started off clean slate.
Right.
But he was already marked off prior to that. They were already getting him out. That was a mistake, him winning, in my opinion.
Okay, so now tell me your take on this song, what it means to you.
Well, it's driving and it's inspiring and I feel like it gives us hope that, because a lot of the things that are being said about the former president, is that they're lies. He's not a racist. There's a lot of people that are for him that are afraid to speak out because, just like back in the day when someone in school was bullied, the other bullies would join in because they didn't want to be bullied too. So people are afraid to speak up and say that they have support. I mean, I'm a college-educated white woman, and there's more of us than you believed, and people are afraid. And I think it's, at this point, what's going on in our country, it's time to be fearless, Not stupid, but why can't I have an opinion? Why can't I like somebody? Why would you be angry at me because I feel support over his policies, which I think are great?
I think his policies are excellent.
Yes. So I want to share something. A friend of mine posted something on Facebook today. I'm not going to say her name. And she's amazing, a wonderful person. And she posted all this great stuff about Trump's administration and facts. I mean, incredible.
Yeah.
But she started it out with, I'm not trying to upset anyone. And, that's where we have a problem. We should be able to support whoever we want like we did back in the day without anyone being upset or saying things. What's sad for me is this. He was shot at twice recently, a couple days ago, right? Mm-hmm. But the first time, they hit him. They got his ear. God had his hand in that. All the terrible stuff that was said that they wish he was dead. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is not humane.
That's the Main Street media. The media is telling you to hate this man. And the people who watch mainstream media hate the man. Most of them, unless they're looking into it and realizing it's the media.
Well, the thing is that the first thing that they did was, just try to demonize him, make him sound like everything he said was bad. And then they dehumanized him so that, he's a human being and he has been saying the same things for 30 years. I mean, the same thing. He's never tottered on his policies, what he thinks the country needs. He's been consistent
his rallies.
For from what I know, over 30 years, consistent. And, how could that be? How could he be lying if he's been so consistent?
And he just talks. If he was a liar, he would get caught in his. He doesn't get caught in his lie. He says the same things over and over. The other thing is that right from the beginning, it was just one thing after another. They tried to impeach him. That didn't work. They turned him in on these things. He got out of all these things that they're claiming. They're claiming he did this, he did that, and you're seeing all the things they're claiming. But he's still running for office. He's right here. He hasn't moved. He's still the same guy. He's still the same guy doing the same things, except there's a big picture that's been created about him, and that's what the media does, and that's what whoever's running the media is doing. It's pretty simple.
Back in the day, he was on Oprah when he was young, and Oprah said, you need to be president, and I'll vote for you. Run for president, and I'll vote for you. Yep. Remember that?
Yep.
Okay, David Letterman. Think about it all, right?
Yeah.
And now
everybody
loved him at one point.
And he certainly wasn't racist because, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but there was a homeless African-American woman back in the day. He gave her a room until, I guess, maybe the day she died. I'm not sure. But he had them bring flowers up for her every day.
Yeah.
Okay?
He's not racist.
Right.
And then we're
craziness.
all racist.
Right.
Racist.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Anybody who likes Trump is a racist, according to them.
Well,
it's silly.
guess what?
It's silly.
My daughter is gay, well, bisexual. She's married to a black woman. My granddaughter's half black, so I'm certainly not a racist. Okay?
Many of our friends. I mean, we're just people.
You know?
We're people. We all have red blood, but we can't vote for our candidate because it's wrong.
Yeah. Okay? You know, so many families have been broken up. Friends won't talk to friends over who you voted for. There's a problem here.
Yes.
Okay? And it's not political. There's a serious, evil, sick problem here. And it's heartbreaking. Why can't we all just agree to disagree? You know, when we were younger, okay, I remember being very liberal because that's what we did.
Sure, me
You
too.
know?
Us too.
That's
Us
true,
too.
right?
Me too. Yeah.
We didn't want to hear rules and regulations. We were proud of
My
it.
family was Democrat,
Okay.
right up until they were gone, and right up until actually right after Obama. When Obama got in, I was all for him. I wanted change. I couldn't take the administration before him. We need change.
Okay?
Man, we got change.
Okay? And
Now I want to change back.
Right. I want to change back too. So I'm going to ask you guys a question, okay? And tell me what I'm missing here, okay? So when Clinton was in office, okay, he not only had an affair, which I don't care about. That part's none of our business, but having it in the Oval Office is. So Clinton had an affair, getting BJs, whatever happened, in the Oval Office. That is our business. Okay, now here's where I'm going. Tell me what I'm missing. When they left, Hillary stole from the White House, and that is public knowledge. She was caught by the feds and had to return everything. She stole china, she stole paintings, she stole furniture. She said she thought it was their gifts. So she was caught. This is public knowledge, and had to return it. How on earth were they even up for her running for president and being allowed back in the White House after all this went on? What am I missing, guys?
I don't know how to answer that. There's a certain person or people that are running the show. And the show, if you're not in the club, you're out of the club. That's all I can say. Because
That's
I
how I
don't know the club, but I know it's happening. So I can't, I don't know.
I feel like they can get away with
Anything.
with whatever they want, and it's not, it's just going to go away. Whatever they do, it's just going to get under the rug, and they're going to distract and point.
Everything's a distraction.
Right.
One thing happens, like assassination attempt. Oh, let's put a new vice president. Blah, blah, blah. It's the day after this, they put that. Whoever, both sides. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now I want to ask you guys a question. So this song is amazing, and I'm sure there were a lot of thoughts going on about when you decided to make this song and what you wanted the people to really understand. So for people out there listening that are on the fence, and I know there's a lot of people on the fence, all right? Start with you, Doreen, or, you guys, whoever you want to go first. What would you say to them?
Well, we decided to put this out during the trials over the summer, so it's not out that long. I think it was in May.
About
a few
6 months.
And when the lawfare was going on, when they just weaponized, they're weaponizing the law, and we just said it's time. It's time. We've had this in our mind. We've been working on it. We have to get this out. When he was convicted of all those ridiculous,
We put it right out.
that's when we put it out.
Okay.
Yeah, and then once it was out there, it was out. I put it out, copywritten, and put out on all media. And the media, you could hear it on anything. Pandora, you could hear it on Apple Music, all that stuff. It's out there for free because I wanted it free. I don't want a dime off of this. And then the video is so important because that took a lot of time. That took over almost 2 months to put together. And each slide was chosen to coexist with the song. So you can see while the song is going, the different slides why we feel the way we do. I don't even have to explain it. If you watch the video, you can see it on our Facebook, YouTube. Go to American Hero, Ode to Donald J. Trump. This was written from us for him. And we were hoping it would get into the rallies and stuff. And, that didn't happen, but that's okay. We have over 5,000 views. As of today, I think it hit 5,000 views. We were like 2 off, 1
That
off.
was beautiful, beautiful.
It's a good song.
It's a great song.
Powerful.
So, here's another point I want to bring up, okay? They have a lot of people with mics going to these college campuses where it's mostly Democrat, and they're young people. And they'll go up to them and pretend that a Republican said something.
I've seen
And,
it.
and the person is like, I can't believe they would say that, and it wasn't. It was a Democrat. So they don't even know
No,
what
they don't
they're
know.
being taught or what they believe in. They don't even know what's really going on.
No, and you know what? They just had another one of those recently, and it was about Kamala Harris, and they were coming up to young women in college, and they were saying, "Oh, who you're voting for?" And they were like, "We're for Kamala," and then I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, but they were for her, and they said, "Well, we love her policies," and so they said, "Well, what policy do you
Right.
like?" And they couldn't name a single policy.
Not one.
Not a single policy. Well, I don't really know, but we need her. you
Yeah,
know?
they're being brainwashed.
Yeah.
And that's what's sad.
It is sad, and I was like that when I was young. It took a long time to get knowledgeable about what's going on, and it's easy to get influenced and hurrah. But sometimes you have to let them know the emperor has no clothes on.
Well, when they do excuse me, I'm sorry. When they do an interview or when Trump does a rally or something, he always says the fake news is going to say this or something. And sure enough, exactly what he says. He goes, they're going to take this, and it's like he does things and he does analogies, things that people can understand, like movies, like the Hannibal Lecter thing. These are all just analogies to movies and he likes to talk. He's an entertainer by heart, and he's good at what he does. And when he says this stuff, boom, the media does it. They'll
Okay,
come out and
right.
say, Trump thinks Hannibal Lecter is going to eat cats and dogs, or whatever.
Okay, right. I get it.
It's just a joke. It's a joke. What people need to do is look at both sides. Look at both sides and just see what's going on. Go out there and research. Most people are watching the mainstream media, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, like my mom used to do. We'd sit down, I'd be on the floor doing my homework, and family would be around the news. And my mother goes, hey, did you hear what they said last week? They're taking this verbatim, and it's not, nowadays you can't do that. Maybe back then with Bill Butel and
Oh, yes.
and
my gosh.
Walter Cronkite.
Yes.
These guys told the news. Now the news are opinions, just like the debates the other night. Those moderators were giving their opinions in the middle of the debate. I was like, boom.
Okay.
X this right now. And he's only allowed to do a debate on ABC.
Right.
And
right.
this is stupid. I mean,
Okay.
any logical person, use logic and reasoning. Any logical person knows you
Okay.
don't go and set up a camp behind enemy's lines and you're the only crew.
Okay.
That's stupid.
It's very stupid. Let's talk about him being shot at the first time, and let's talk about him being shot at the second time. So the first time, to me, was so heartbreaking on so many levels,
Yep.
even for the young boy that ended up dying, okay? He was set up also, okay? There was no way anyone's going to convince me that young man said, okay, this has to happen because Donald Trump is so evil. No. Someone got to this poor kid. That's how I feel about that. And let's talk about the second time. This is really even more scarier to me than the first one, because how did they know he was going to be where he was on his golf course at that time, whatever? It's an inside job.
Well, who knew? Who knew where he was going to be?
Okay, so
that's
someone-
what the question is.
Someone close to him knew.
Somebody knew,
And that's the problem
that's the scary
here.
thing.
But then again, from the very beginning, they're like, oh, this Republican, that Republican, these people say Donald Trump's bad. He used to work for his cabinet. He used to do that. You know why he's not working for the cabinet? Know why they're not there? Because they don't belong there. They got fired.
Okay.
You know, that's why they're not there. And you can pick all the people that he let go. And of course, they're going to say, oh, no, he's a great
Disgruntled, yeah,
guy. What a nice
disgruntled.
man. They're not going to say that. They're going to write books. They're going to do everything they can to demoralize him, you know?
Lies, lies, and more lies.
Exactly.
It's so funny how when all this stuff went down with the Clintons, okay, I remember it like it was yesterday. Everybody was ranting. It's none of our business if he wanted to have an affair, even though it was in the White House, guys, okay? None of our business. They're bringing stuff up about Donald Trump from when he
know.
was in his 20s.
I know.
Do we really care? I couldn't care less about
We change.
any of
Every
it.
10 years, we change.
Okay? Yes.
I mean, some people go to jail and reform.
Okay.
You know, some people were atheists, now they're Christians.
That's
Some
right.
people were the vice versa. Everyone changes. They're only grabbing on this stuff because they can. You know, it's just the
Okay.
way it is. How
And that
many people?
doesn't
George
matter.
Washington. I heard he was a saint. He slept everywhere. You know, all these people.
Don't let me get started with him
The
because I did a
Kennedys.
show about
The
him.
Kennedys.
Okay.
Come on.
Oh, let me tell you about, okay, so Robert F. Kennedy Jr., okay? So I got to protest in Trenton with him, okay? Even my producer here, my daughter. So it was pre-COVID, and we won. And do you know why we were protesting? We were protesting for your freaking rights, people, to make sure the Constitution wasn't changed, because that's what they're trying to do, okay? Our religious exemptions, our religious rights. We won that day. And I have a photo with me and him. Guys, you want to see the photo? Let me know because, again, you're not going to tell me anything that I haven't done or known I've been there. Okay? I didn't see any of you out in Trenton. We could all have been shot, but we did it. Okay? So now, guess who's backing Trump? Kennedy.
That's right.
How cool
And now
is
they're
that?
calling him names. Now
Okay?
he's bad.
He wasn't bad before, right?
No, he
wasn't
wasn't.
bad
Some of
before.
the people I know loved him, wanted him, and then all of a sudden they turned around and said, "Oh no, he's bad."
Okay?
Now
And I
he's-
love him.
It's very apparent what's happening.
know?
It really is apparent. If you don't see it, then I just look. I respect people's opinions, and I feel like our opinion should be respected as well. And
Right.
you know,
I run
That's
on
what
my
I feel.
Facebook page. You know, I post things purposely and things that sometimes I don't even know or understand because I want to see. I don't feel like going out and finding out all information everywhere. I don't have time for that. I'm busy all the time. But when I put something up, I have a collection of friends. I call them friends. They're Democrats. They come on and they voice their opinions. And I respect their opinions because I want to know their opinions. I want to know what they're hearing. I want to know what they're learning.
Right.
And I have I would say about 7 or 8 friends, and I don't get rid of anyone unless they attack me personally.
Yes.
And I only deleted 2 people over the years.
Okay.
But my Democratic friends, who I love, come on and we make jokes to each other, and then it gets a little rough at times. But the bottom line is I get to filter out what I need to filter out from their responses. Got some very intelligent Democrat friends. And the thing is that sometimes intelligence is, too much. There's got to be a happy medium. You got to have a little heart and a little intelligence. You got to have a medium. And but I respect all my Democratic friends, and I love my family and the family that are Democrats. I love them too. But it's scary because we have to decipher this, and the average person who's going to work every day or just not really paying attention are only hearing what the media is telling them, depending on what media they're watching. And there's 2 sides to this coin. If you keep banging someone on this end, the other side has to bang them on this end. So the center is going bigger and wider and wider. So now you have a left and a right and no middle. That's the scary part about what's going on in the world. And I truly believe somebody wants the country really divided so they can continue doing exactly what they're doing.
So, of course, I believe that 100%. I want to read a couple of the things that my friend had posted. All right? We'll just do a couple. So, I'm voting for the First Amendment and freedom of speech. I'm voting for the right to speak my opinion and not be censored. Do you guys realize that that's happening? Do you guys realize that we're being shut up? And I'm not just talking about, this is not about Democrat or Republican. This is about the human body, us,
Yes.
here, right? Look at what happened with COVID, the masks. Let's talk about that. You're not supposed to breathe in what you're breathing out. That was to quiet us. When I was in China in the 80s, they all walked around wearing masks because they were told by the government it was their air quality. Watching that was heartbreaking because they couldn't really smile at anyone. They didn't know if anyone was smiling at them. This was their life. Okay? Keep that in mind, guys. We're being lied to. All right? I'm voting for secure borders and legal immigration. I am voting for election integrity to include mandatory voter ID. Now, why would anyone vote against this? Why would anyone vote against that?
They wanna,
It's not
they wanna
logical.
cheat.
Okay? So think about that,
To
guys.
get on a
only reason
cruise
is to
ship
cheat.
or to get into anywhere, you have to show ID, passport, everything else. To vote, what do you need?
Okay? This is what are you guys not understanding here? Okay, my father's family came here legally, okay? My aunt is now 97 years old, maybe 96, whatever she is, and my dad's gone, but he was the first one to come. And listen to this is pretty cool. My dad came, he was the first one, he was only 14, because back in the day the laws were different. My nonna came to the States to visit family with her husband, my grandfather, and got pregnant here. So that gave my father dual citizenship automatically. That's how it worked back then. So in order for the rest of the family to come, they had to send my father alone on that ship at 14, alone. Imagine that, 14 guys. Okay, to meet an uncle he never met before and my dad didn't know the language. But here's what's amazing. He did it. And they had to do what they had to do, and then they all eventually all came. But here's what's so amazing. My cousin found every one of my dad's family members shipped the paper. There's my dad's name, age 14, the ship he was on, the year. It was beautiful.
That is nice.
Okay? So why can't these people do it? Let me tell you what I witnessed at the border, what I saw. Okay? Ruben, I want you to also comment, okay, for a couple minutes once I say what I'm going to say. Ruben was with me, so he could attest to this. We covered these stories. So we were there sometimes 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, all night long, whatever. Hundreds and hundreds, say thousands of people were trying to come. We went to the legal border first. That was beautiful. Then we went to all the illegal borders. These people were coming with children that weren't even theirs. Okay, you hear me? These people were coming over with children that weren't even theirs for sex trafficking. I'm going to say something, and I'm going to have my producer comment. There were 3 or 4 children walking across the bay one day. The little girl was 8 years old, so she's 9 now. The boys claimed to be older, but the oldest one wasn't more than 15. They looked very clean, dressed nicely. They had bags with water. They had backpacks. The story they gave us was that the little girl said that they didn't know each other until they started that walk, and they've been walking for 3 months. Okay, but they were clean. They had water bottles. Keep in mind what I'm saying to you. Okay, the little girl said her mother was killed, and her father abandoned them, and he's somewhere in the U.S. So the true story was that they were let off probably about 2 miles back by the cartel and told what to say. They had drugs with them also, and her mother was probably raped and killed, and her father was probably killed as well. And I said to the sheriff, I'm a recovery coach, can I search the 2 boys for drugs? He says, yes. I said, but does it end here? He said, no. I said, so if I search the boy, they're children, now they have to go somewhere else and be searched? I'm not doing it. It was horrendous. It was life-changing what I witnessed. So you guys are being lied to about what's really going on at the borders. Producer, comment.
Well, yeah, I mean, being there for for the 5 days that we were there, it was very interesting. Not with the kids. I remember actually watching the kids while they were, you guys were in conversation. I think it was me and Duncan.
Okay.
And I noticed that they were walking, and then they started running. And I remember I was like, grab the girl. I screamed over, grab the girl, because she almost fell in the water. In the water. So she skidded on her. And then they started running. Then they ran across the little bridge, and we didn't know who they were running from. So all I remember was Kevin saying, we should, he told me, let's get behind the truck, and he said, everybody get down because we don't know who's chasing them or anything like that. And this isn't like around like 1 or 2 o'clock
Yeah, it was
in the
early in
afternoon.
the afternoon.
Early in the afternoon. So when they came by, they were hungry and stuff. And I just remember I grabbed those little muffins from the hotel. So I gave them the muffins, and they scoffed them down.
And the little girl was crying.
Crying.
Scared.
Oh,
You
yeah,
were
the girl.
hugging her.
The girl was crying. Yeah, Jerry, Anthony gave her a hug, and Jerry gave her a hug, and all, and where they are now,
We don't even know.
We don't even know.
But I want to
But
share this with them as well. So this is what we were told, and this is what we learned, and I have photos of these trees. They're rape trees. So what these children really witnessed was, if you are trying to come legally here, okay, the cartel has people everywhere, and the families know this is going to happen. Their wife, girlfriend, children will be raped, and they take a piece of their clothing, bras, underwears, whatever it is, and they throw it on the tree as a trophy, and they're everywhere. And then if you don't comply, you don't give them your child, whatever it is, they will kill you. So that's how that happened with her. Okay? So guys, let me read a couple more things from this post. Okay. I'm voting for the Second Amendment and my right to defend my life and my family. And I own a gun. You heard me. That's right.
I do too.
Okay. I'm voting for the police to be respected once again. I'm voting for law and order and an end to allowing protesters to trespass and burn our cities, destroying innocent small businesses. Think about this, guys. Okay? Think about this. Okay? Now, you ready for this? Kamala Harris said this. I am voting for personal responsibility and at the end of the revolving door where criminals are being put back on the street. Do you understand what that means? Putting criminals back on the street. She said that. Do you understand that? Okay. I'm voting for the next Supreme Court justice to protect the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Our Constitution was made for us forever. They're trying to change it. Do you understand? And I protested again with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. pre-COVID. We won that day. That day. Okay? Let's see. Okay. I'm voting for keeping our jobs to remain in America and not be outsourced all over the world to China, Mexico, and other foreign countries. Now, hear me out. And then you guys comment on this as well, okay? Hear me out. So my father, again, came here legally, right? My father owned a company. My brother has it now, J.I. Painting. They gave all immigrants jobs. To this day, they have immigrants working for them who are trying to come here legally, if not already legal. You understand? So we want to give them jobs. We want to help them get here legally for the better of their families. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the illegal immigrants that are coming here and murdering, bringing children that aren't theirs for sex trafficking. Do you guys get it? We saw it firsthand. Okay? Me and Ruben talked. We did an interview in the sheriff department. Okay? We met the mayor. All right? Now I'm going to share something with you guys. What's happening is these poor children, their parents are being murdered and they're taking the children. The majority of the people that I have photos, hundreds of photos of them all lined up, weren't even theirs. The majority of these children weren't even theirs. Okay, do you get it? Are you understanding why this is so important? I'm going to tell you what was told to me. One of the sheriffs and I had a conversation, and I said, why are so many people involved with the cartel? And this is what he said to me, guys. He said, if someone comes to your studio with a giant bag of money, dressed in a really nice suit, says, do you want this money? What are you going to say? I'm going to say, nope. Okay, and you have that right. But then what's going to happen? They're going to walk out, wait for you to leave, and bang. So more people than we even can imagine are part of it. Do you guys want to comment on anything?
I'm being educated right now more because I haven't heard most of your story
Right.
that you've been, because I know you said you've been there and everything. And, it's not shocking to me that this
Right.
conspiracy is happening,
Right.
but it's shocking to me that people are actually believing that it's not happening.
right. That's
which
right.
is really weird. I mean, I see, when I hear immigration, I see the people lined up and they took the test and they got all their shots and they've been vetted and they're standing there with big smiles on their face and the president's saying, thank you for coming, being a part of our nation. And they went through a long background check and a long learning about the country and the language and all that stuff. How could you let one person in with who knows what diseases he has or whatever without knowing anything about the country? Let him go in the country. It's almost like letting someone run through the country. Where does he go? Where did they go? Now they're scooping him up, bringing him to all the cities, putting him into our people's hotels and stuff, and our citizen hotels, and they're scared. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to get food. They're actually fighting amongst themselves. It's like putting chickens and rats in a cage and telling them nothing, just letting them run everywhere. Right. It's scary. These are people. You don't do that to people.
Right.
They're human beings.
What
You
do you
don't
say?
do that. You take them in and teach them our country, how to survive in America. That's what you got to do. Otherwise, you don't have an America. You could be the nicest person and take them all in. But if you can't handle them, somebody has to. And if you can't handle them, they're going to handle themselves. It's pretty simple. It's simple logic.
I have to share what my dad and my uncle have always said. My uncle's still alive. My uncle became an American Marine from Italy. You got that, guys? Became an American Marine. And I'll never forget this. I was in my 20s, and they were having a conversation, and I said, oh, what did you just say? And they both say to me all the time, my dad's gone, rest in peace, that Italy, they were born in Italy, and they will always forever love Italy. But America was their country. That's the difference.
It's the greatest country ever.
That's
Yeah,
right.
my
That's the
grandmother was
difference.
she came from Germany during the Nazi years. So, and she was so patriotic. She loved this country. She appreciated coming over. She came over. She was younger than she was like 6 years old, I think it was, something like by herself on a boat. Okay.
See what I mean?
Yeah, and but they were, she was sponsored. They had people here. They were fleeing, so it wasn't a good scene. You guys all know that whole thing, but she appreciated this country and everything about it so much that like she would never shop anywhere that if it wasn't made in America. That's the patriotism that immigrant had. And she was an immigrant,
Amazing.
legal. Yeah.
Amazing. So I'm going to read a couple more things here, and then we'll comment,
Okay.
and then you can check your notes.
Oh, I'm good. This is
Okay.
exactly what we're talking about.
Okay.
I do want to just thank really quick before you
Okay,
go on,
yep.
Frank Colangelo, Ray Mortarella, Carolyn Monaco, Cindy Zwicker, and Bob Emmons for
Help with the song.
helping with the song and helping produce the video and everything that you're going to be seeing when you go online to see it on YouTube.
Nikki V.
And Nikki V, they were a very big help. And Mary, for all your great comments that you send me. And everybody out there who's been supportive to this video. And, is very important. And thank you so much because I think we got our point across. I mean, on the video anyway, and here too.
Beautiful. So, okay. Here's what's really important, our vets, right? Our vets, what's
Vets.
happening to our vets. Disgusting. Okay, here we go. I'm voting for the military and the veterans who fought for this country. I'm voting for doing away with all of the freebies given to all of the illegals and not looking after the needs of the American citizens and homeless veterans. I'm voting for peace progress in the Middle East. I'm voting to fight against human child trafficking. I'm voting for freedom of religion. So I read enough. Why don't you guys say whatever it is else? I don't want you to forget to say anything that you thought, okay, before, I don't want that to happen. So help him maybe think of something. I don't want you to forget anything.
Well, of course, we want to support our police. We back the men in blue.
Yeah.
and women. And a couple things that, as an antique car guy, as a car collector, and person who runs with hundreds and hundreds of, people who own antique and classic cars, boaters, motorcycles. We have a family of gas-powered people in this world. We have millions and millions all over the world. You can't just say, okay, guys, park your cars. You got to go electric. You know what? There's a place for electric. I love technology. I love AI. I love the stock market. I love all that. I love everything, but it should be all done in a.
There's a lot of mandates. They're starting to.
Yeah, they're starting to get
mandate
crazy
things.
with stuff. You can't just say no electric cars, no electric. No gas engines, no
Right.
gas cars. My fault.
No way.
Impossible.
Impossible.
All the enthusiasts are going. Here they are pulling up with their brand new car. They got hundreds of thousands in these cars, and even millions in some of these cars. And they're sitting there going, scratching their head, going, "Wait a minute. How are we gonna have a rally of antique cars if we have no gas, or the gas is $10 a gallon? What about all these people flying everywhere? Taylor Swift and the Obamas and Trump. How are they going to fly their planes? They're going to get electric planes? It's not happening.
Right.
Come on, this is common sense. Let's do electric. Let's do solar. Let's do it all. But do it as. Bring it on. Bring that technology. I want to fly around too in little drone cars too. But do it safe. Bring it on so it works. So you get 200 miles or 300 miles on a charge, not blowing up lithium batteries.
So I want to share something with you about the electric cars with no driver.
Oh, yeah, you told us about this.
Okay.
Tell everybody.
So I was in Arizona, visiting my grandson at the time he was in college, and there's a vegan restaurant. I'm vegan, and there's a vegan restaurant there. It's the only one in the nation that's even all organic and everything is made. I got to go behind the scenes, me and Ruben, okay? And even their almond milk, they soak their almonds, organic almonds, every morning. I got photos of everything's organic. It was amazing. The only one in the nation. So, and it happened to be close to where my grandson's college was. So I said to my grandson, we're going to be going there. And I was with my daughter and my granddaughter, who's only 9. She was 8 at the time. My grandson's now 23. So this was a year ago. My grandson makes the mistake of telling his crazy grandmother, guess what we have here? And they don't have them everywhere right now. It's only here in LA right now, the electric cars with no driver. I said, really? They have them here? Mm-hmm. I said, well, guess what we're doing tomorrow? We're going to the vegan restaurant, and you are calling this car. And he goes, really, me, Mom? I go, really? And I go, and I'm sitting in the front. And they all looked at me, and they were like, you can sit in the front. Okay, I didn't know they were all nervous.
I wouldn't go in that car.
Okay, one time, listen, I'm a poker player. So this is how I thought about
You're
it.
adventurous.
The odds. I said the odds of something happening for those 15 minutes while we're here in Arizona, it's fine. So that's how I did this. We got in the car, but the coolest thing was it texts him back, pulling in, come outside. Okay, so we come out of the restaurant and it pulls up. And then you get in and it says, because my grandson did it on his app, hello, Christian, seatbelts on. Okay, we're going to take off now.
Wow.
And then we're going around 15 minutes, and then we'll be pulling back soon. 5 more minutes.
That's cool.
It was amazing.
There's nothing wrong with that technology. There's nothing wrong with it. Just perfect it. That's
Perfect it because,
Yeah.
right, it's not safe. So anyway, all that cool stuff. So, all right. Doreen, is there anything that you think you guys forgot that you really wanted to talk about?
No, I think we really talked a lot, but I mean, food shopping, the prices of everything, it's not logical to me that people want this same administration to continue because things aren't going well. I believe things are not going well for us as a nation.
People believe that it is going well, but I'm not seeing that totally.
I'm not seeing
Things
that
are good.
either.
Stock market's good, but that's not people eating. Not everyone's in the stock market.
Right.
Everybody has to go to the supermarket, and I have had people come up to me at Stop and Shop, and I would have like my MAGA hat on or whatever because I can wear it. Why do I have to get beat up because I'm wearing
Right.
a hat? And they'll be like, oh God, I love your hat. I can't wait because I can't afford this. And people putting stuff back because they just can't afford it.
Nope.
This economy is not good, and it was good.
You can't buy organic.
So,
Buy organic.
and that's all I buy, so it's a
Yeah.
fortune. So now I want to ask you something, okay? I want you to answer this, all right? Because, a lot of times they say the man's brain is the logical brain, all right? And I'm artistic, and so I don't really look at me as this logical brain, but I have one. But I want you to answer this, okay? When Trump was in office, the economy was so much better. Yes?
2019 was probably the best year we've ever had.
Okay.
Oh, we made so much money.
Okay. Today, no, correct?
Not for me.
But don't say not for me, because that's where I'm going with this.
Oh, no.
The facts. Here's the facts. What am I missing that people don't see it?
They're hearing what they want to hear.
But don't they see what's happening in their country?
Not the people. I know many people out there, and I hear them. It's not relevant in their life. If you're a millionaire or if you're well-to-do and you're living off it doesn't matter what you spend. If you spend $10 more on a chicken, who cares? Most people are feeling the heat. A lot of people are saying like, well, why don't you get a second job? What about those seniors? That they're disabled people. They can't always get a second job. They're living off of Social Security. That's all they have. And they have to make that, they have to pay for their insurances are going through the roof. We just had another 24% increase on our insurances. And it's nuts. One thing that's really, okay, everybody has to be educated, but everybody at the same time thinks they're educated.
Yes.
Okay, including myself, I have people out there that'll give us fact after fact after fact. I don't know what facts they're getting or where they're getting, but they're getting from some fact checker or something they've heard. I got guys that are so intelligent that I don't even know what to answer.
I agree.
But the thing about it is that use logic and reasoning. How do you feel? Like, not everybody's as smart as you or smart as them. Use logic and reasoning. Remember what you learned all these years in the United States growing up. Remember what your families taught you or what you've seen. Everybody's seen something different. But the bottom line is, if someone's giving you too much information, maybe it's just too much information. How do you feel? Period. That's all I can say is vote the way you feel, not the way you've been told to feel. Okay?
Yes.
That's what you got to do.
Yes.
And I know who I'm voting for, and I'm proud of it. And I think that man, I think he's got a raw deal, and I think they did it for a very long time, and they're making you believe it.
Perfectly said. Guys, before we close out, I want to say this. If anybody wants to talk to me about any of the experiences I've had, especially at the borders, call me. You guys know. Or reach out to me on Facebook. I have no problem talking to anyone. Okay? Ask me anything you want. Okay? We just want to make sure that you're educated, that you know what's really happening. Again, like he said, right? Like Joey said, don't just listen to the media. Don't just listen to what's going on out there. And I feel good about this because I believe Trump's in. I pray that God keeps him safe because now I know it's definitely an inside job. Okay? I don't want a politician in office ever again, honestly. I want the man who was one of the richest men in the world running our country. Okay? And again, back in the day, Oprah said she'd vote for him. Okay? So
Fair elections, too. Fair elections. That's what I want, and that scares me.
Yes. Fair elections. And the thing is this, guys. I know there are a lot of you out there that will vote for Trump but are afraid to say it. And that's okay. You don't have to say it. But guys, really use your brains. And any one of us is here to talk to you. Okay? So reach out on Facebook. Secretly message them. Okay? They will not tell anyone, okay, that you message them. Right?
The silent majority can't be silent anymore.
Okay?
It has to get forward. Help your people get to the polls, vote. Whoever you vote for, get out and vote. It's very important. But let's hope that whatever happens and we come out on the other side, we come together as a country and we're friends again. All of us are friends again because honestly, I love all my friends. I love my
That's right.
Democrat friends. I love my Verona people
Right.
and my Whiting people. But this animosity got to stop because the more we split, the worse it's going to get. And somebody wants it split. And I don't know who, but somebody wants a split.
So I want to thank you guys for your courage.
Yeah.
I mean that. The song is amazing. I want to thank you guys for really stepping up and being heard, okay? Because today in the, entertainment industry, it's very difficult for entertainers to stand up.
Yeah, we've been told
Yeah.
not to do this.
Right.
And whatever, it's time. I don't care.
It's time.
If you don't like me,
We're
you don't like
doing-
me.
yeah, we're doing something we believe in.
Yes.
And, if you love what we do as entertainers,
Yes.
there's always a place in our hearts for you, whoever you are. But, don't hate me because I believe in something really, really strongly, and I won't hate you.
That's right.
But just vote.
Just
you know?
vote. So I want to thank all the listeners out there. I want to thank everyone who supports us. I want to thank even the haters for listening because Mae West once said, and I've lived by this, guys, I'd rather be looked over, honey, than overlooked. Okay? So I hope we brought some light to some of maybe people out there questioning. And again, any one of us is here if you want to message us. All right? I want to thank my producer for doing this great show. So, Ruben.
Thank
go
you,
ahead.
Jerry.
Oh.
Thank you
so
for
much.
having us, and thank you.
Oh, wait. Before we close out, Ruben, tell everyone how to get your book and how to get you guys if they want to hire you for music. Come
Yeah,
on.
just go to our website, www.arminioentertainment.com, and you could order the book right from 0 to 60, right on a tab. They have we have all our tabs there, our schedule, everything that we've done with the greatest entertainers in the world. I feel is our area. From Asbury all the way down to North Jersey to South Jersey. It's just the greatest entertainers in the world, and I've been lucky. 0 to 60, I've been lucky to perform with a lot of them.
Don't forget us
So.
New Yorkers, too.
Oh,
That's right, baby.
I come from Brooklyn, baby.
That's right. Yeah, and we have our calendar on there, our schedule, and some of the live streams that we've done from our kitchen, which we're going to be doing again if we ever have some time off. We're going to do that again because that was always fun, and we really connected with people during that time.
So, guys, share this video. This will also be on iHeartRadio next week. I'll let you know what day and time.
Sounds great.
Okay, the audio. And check out their video because we couldn't show the video tonight.
Yeah, look at
okay?
It's on YouTube. Just check it
Yeah.
out. Go to YouTube, American Hero, Ode to Donald J. Trump. You got to put it all in because there's so many songs out there saying something. So just put that all in, and you get it for free. It's a free download for you guys if you want it.
Okay? Thank you, everybody. Producer, take us out. And hold your book up, Tom.
Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do.
Just what to do, just what to do.
If what you're feeling is really true.
Is it really true? Is it really true?
Just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.